You need two things to build a truly successful app. First, you need an app that solves a specific problem, a specific issue that your target demographic has, okay? And so this app needs to do something useful for the person. If not, they're really not going to use it. They're not going to pay you for it. They're not going to download it. And it's really going to be a waste of time. But you also need to do something else. And that is you need to design a beautiful app. You need your app to look professional. It's not enough for an app to do something if the app does not look good, if it looks like it was created by an amateur over their lunch break. And so fortunately, the first thing is that getting an app to do something useful is taken care of fairly well by a lot of these no-code tools. So regardless which no-code tool you use, whether it's FlutterFlow, Bubble, appgyver, thunkable, all of these tools allow you to build an app that essentially goes from point A to point B. It essentially solves the user problem to varying degrees. But the second point, that is making the app look great, making the app look truly professional, like it was created by a professional company, by a design studio, like it wasn't created by someone over their lunch break or like a weekend project, is a little bit more complicated. It's a little bit more complex. And that is because regardless of which tool you pick, the design aspect, the design element, definitely leaves something to be desired. And so as an example, here I am in FlutterFlow. And with FlutterFlow, you kind of have a straightforward way of building apps. Apart from building the app from scratch, you can create a new page using built-in templates that FlutterFlow provides. That is certainly a great option, but the truth of the matter is that it does leave something to be desired. If you build an app using templates, everybody will know that you use FlutterFlow, and it's really not going to stand apart from, the sea of all the other apps out there. Another option that you have at your disposal, and that is using elements built from templates themselves. So instead of building a page from templates, you can come in here and you have access to templates. So that allows you to build these little widgets, okay? And these are also nice. This is definitely a great touch. But the problem with this approach is it's rather limited and they all look kind of the same, okay? And so what if you want to go beyond? What if you really want to go out and build a truly professional app using FlutterFlow, but you do not want to use the page templates, you do not want to use the element templates, the widget templates. You want to go out and you want to build a truly professional app, whether you want to build an app like Uber Eats or some other app, you just want it to look good. How can you do it? And plus, what if you're not a designer just like me? What if you can't design, but you want a truly professional app? Well, in today's video, I'm going to be showing you a really great method, a truly game-changing method that allows you to build professionally looking apps in FlutterFlow that you really couldn't do it before, or that otherwise would have taken you a long time to do it. Now, the first thing that we want to do is we want to go out and we want to find design ideas that we can later implement inside our app and modify to how we want to. And one of the best places to get design ideas is a site called Figma, which is a UI UX design tool. And this is an amazing resource, especially for someone like me who is not UI design oriented. So here we are in Figma. I'm using a free account and I'm looking at a bunch of files that I've looked at before. And so when you log into Figma, you're not going to see all this. You're probably going to see something else. And so what you want to do is you want to click here and you want to go to community, okay? And here you can type anything. You can go to mobile and you're going to see mockups, you're going to see elements, widgets, icons, everything. And the fact of the matter is that you're going to see very beautiful designs, okay? And so there's a game store app UI kit that looks very professional. There's a grocery food mobile app that if you open it up, it looks very professional. The fact of the matter is that you'll be able to find anything that you want on this site. You're going to find professional looking design that you'll be able to co-opt and use inside your app. And so as you're browsing around, you stumble upon some templates, some designs, some elements that you want to co-opt and use inside your FlutterFlow app. How exactly can you do it? Well, let me show you how you can do it. Here's a Figma project that I have that I've prepared using various elements that could be useful to build different kinds of apps. So in this example, I have just a regular button that took me 10 seconds to build and design. And here you have a more complex card container that you can use maybe in a more complex app, maybe in a to-do app, or maybe in a task management app. Here you have another container, and here you have a full-blown page that could be used for a weather app. So how exactly can you use any of these design elements and pretty much any of the elements that you see inside your FlutterFlow app? So let me show you how it could be done. First, let me show you how easy it is to build this button. This is a nice button, and then we're going to go into FlutterFlow, and I'm going to show you how you can actually use this button inside your app. So this is a very, very simple button here. All you need to do is click here. You have a frame. I can just align it. I can come in here, and I can make my corners rounded here. And I also want to create a border, right? And for that, we need to go into stroke. I'm going to pick this. I'm going to do gray, and then I'm going to have a fill. I'm going to select this, and I'm going to have a fill, and maybe I want a green fill, okay? So now we have a green button. I press T, and I type click me, okay? I align that to the center, and maybe I also want it to be black, okay? Something like this. It's perfectly centered. And now I have a sample button, okay? And obviously I can take it even further if I want, but that is just to show you how quickly and easily it is to design a very beautiful and in my view, a kind of a professional looking element. The next thing that you guys want to do in order to import this into FlutterFlow is that you want to select this button. So I have a couple of buttons on this page, and I can even label them. So I'm going to say button. I'm going to say button 1, and I'm going to say button 2. Okay, I'm going to drag this one to the top. And so I have the old button, I have the new button. What I want to do, guys, is I want to select this button, okay? Next, I want to come in here to the Resources tab here, select it. I want to go into Plugins, and I want to search for Figma to Code. Okay, I already have this plugin, but you're not going to have it, so you want to search for it, select it. Once you select it, you're going to see the screen. And this is an amazing plugin that allows you to take any of the design elements in Figma and export it as Flutter code that you can in turn use inside your FlutterFlow apps. So we have this element selected. This plugin is actually used by 44,000 people. So this is a very popular plugin. So with this element selected, we're going to hit run. Once we do that, we have this little pop-up window. And what you guys want to do is you want to select Flutter. You're going to select Flutter, and you're going to see Flutter code. Okay, you're going to say copy to clipboard. The next thing you want to do is you want to go back inside your app. You're going to come in here to custom functions. You're going to go into the custom widgets tab, which I have here selected, and you're going to say create. You're going to call your widget. I'm just going to call it example 1 because I'm going to be showing you several examples. And we're going to say view boilerplate code. Okay, once you see the screen, just say copy to editor, and that's all you have. The next thing you have to pay close attention. You want to select this container, and with it selected, you want to do Command V or Control V in order to paste the code that we got in the previous plugin. I'm going to paste it, and then after pasting it, I'm going to put a semicolon exactly where the cursor is. Okay? Now I can kind of format it. And now what you want to do is you want to do compile and preview. We're going to say compile. We're going to wait for a little bit for this code to compile and render. All right, so I finished compiling. This is what you see. The next thing you guys want to do is you want to increase the width. I'm just going to do 400. And guess what we see? We see the button. Check this out. We're going to hit save. Then we can simply go back to our app. We can use this component tab, and you're going to see your custom widget. You can simply drag and drop it right here, and you have the button. And you want to make sure you set the width. Doesn't matter how wide you make it, as long as it's bigger than here. Now, if you want this button to be centered, there is an easy fix for that. You can just go to custom functions, edit it, And what you guys want to do is where you see this container, you can simply do return center child, and then you can go back and put another close parentheses right there. And then you can simply do compile and preview, and you should have a button that's centered on the screen. All right, here's our new button. I don't do anything. I can change the width to, let's say, 500. And the button is now centered on the screen. And so let's say we have a width of 400 here. I'm going to hit save. I'm going to go back to my app here. And as you can see, now it's centered on the screen, okay? And let's go ahead and do the same thing with the other button. So we're going to go back to Figma. We're going to choose this button. See, I have it selected. I have it selected here. We can right-click on it. We can go to plugins, and we can simply do run last plugin. Okay, once we do that, we have this plugin. We can go into Flutter tab, copy to clipboard, go back to our app, go back here. Now here you have two options. You can create a brand new custom widget the exact same way that I did this one. Or if you want to edit this, this is also very, very easy. You can simply click on edit widget, and you can click on view boilerplate code, copy to editor, and you have a new template to really paste your app. And so we're going to delete container, but instead of deleting it, we can simply do center, child, and then you can paste it. Okay? Semicolon, closing parenthesis, semicolon, and then compile and preview. And once this is done, you're going to have a brand new button. All right, so this finished compiling, it rendered, and now we are seeing the new button. And this looks exactly like the button we have in my Figma project. If I zoom in here and I come in here, it looks exactly like the button. This is amazing because you can essentially design your own component, design your own widget, or even better, use a widget that has already been created by a professional inside your app. So we're going to hit save, come back here, and now we have this thing reflected inside our app. Now, let me show you some of these other examples here, okay? These are truly amazing, and I'm going to show you a quick shortcut. So when you select something here, this is automatically in play. This is automatically running. You don't need to right-click on it. You don't need to do any of that, because if you're going to be reusing this amazing plugin, it's the fastest way of doing it. So if I select this, it automatically generates the code. So let's say I want to select this now. This is a little bit more complex, and I essentially found that browsing around different community widgets, something that you can do as well. So I have it selected. I have this thing selected here. I'm going to say copy to clipboard. I'm going to go back here, and this time we're going to create a new widget. I'm going to call it example 2. I have my width and height. I'm going to say view boilerplate, copy to editor. And what I'm going to do is I'm simply going to highlight container, paste my widget, and with the cursor selected where it is, enter a semicolon, okay? We're going to say, let's do compile and preview to see if everything looks good. All right, here's our app. Let's go ahead and increase the width. And here is our new widget here, okay? So there's the task, there's some text in there, and there's some placeholders for some future information you might want to display when you're using this inside your app and it's dynamically created. So maybe the width as 300, that looks really good. We're going to hit save, go back to our app, and let's say we want to add this new widget, example 2. I'm going to drag and drop it. I'm going to say the widget width 400, and there it is. And it's perfectly created. You don't have to worry about rows and columns or any of that stuff. It automatically generates that for you. Let's go ahead and try some of the other examples. And later on, I'm going to show you some ways that you can customize these widgets right inside your FlutterFlow app in order to take full advantage of this amazing functionality. So here we have another component. This is a little bit more complex. We have kind of an image. We have some text. We have all this. And I found it browsing around some different designs, some different mockups. So we have it selected. We have this widget running. I'm going to say copy to clipboard. We're going to go back here, custom code, custom widgets, create, example 3, view boilerplate code, copy to editor, come in here, paste, semicolon, compile and preview. All right, here's our widget. Let's go ahead and increase the width. And there we have it perfectly. This is a placeholder for an image that you may want to display at some point. But here's the widget here. And if we take a look at the original widget, it looks exactly how it is. It looks exactly how it should be. We're going to hit save, come back here. We're going to go to our widgets panel, example 3, paste it. Let's go ahead and increase the width. 300 looks good, maybe a little bit more, 400. And look at that. That's a perfect widget that you can use inside your apps. Let's go ahead and do one more example. This is something a little bit more complex. And let's say I want something like this. This looks nice to me. I don't want to go out. I don't want to design it. I don't want to learn design. I just want this part. I'm going to select it. I have this group selected. And as soon as I have it selected, I have the code generated. I have Flutter code. I'm going to say copy to clipboard. We're going to go back here. I'm going to go back to custom code, custom widgets. And this is going to be our example 3. Example 4, excuse me, view boilerplate code, copy to editor. And I'm going to center it. I want to center it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say center, child, and then I'm going to paste it, closing parentheses, semicolon. Okay? Compile and preview. All right, so it finished compiling. Let's go ahead and increase the width. And look at this. It looks exactly how it should be. Take a look at this. We have it here. You just need to replace the images because we have placeholders, but that is very, very easy to do. You have the form, you have the structure, you have the layout, everything fits in perfectly. And now let me show you some ways that you can customize these custom widgets from inside your FlutterFlow app. So let's say you want to customize this button right here, okay? So if we preview it, this is what the button looks like. And let's say you want to customize, you want to specify the text inside this button. You don't want it to say click me, maybe you want it to say something else. So what you want to do is you want to go to edit widget and you want to add a parameter. Okay, so the parameter we're going to specify is value. Okay, just going to call it value string. Okay, and this is the parameter that's going to be inside instead of the click me. Okay, we're going to say string. And the next thing you want to do is you want to click on this. This is going to show you how FlutterFlow expects this parameter. So this is what you need to do. In these two cases, it added this parameter. So this value string and string value string. So we're going to copy this. We're going to go back here. We're going to insert it here. And then here, we're going to say final string value string. Okay? And so now this custom widget knows about this parameter that we're going to specify eventually from inside the app. The next thing you want to do is you want to scroll and find where it says click me. Okay, so here it says click me, and you want to replace this with this value string. So we're going to say widget value string. That's all you have to do. Next, we're going to click on compile and preview so that it checks if this widget is legit, there are no errors, that it's not going to be a headache later on as we build more functionality. And so it finished checking, it finished compiling, and this is the widget that you're seeing. We're specifying the width, the height, and we're also specifying the string that we want inside. So let's say I say click, and now it says click. So if I hit save, and I go back inside my app, and I come here, I can specify the value here. So I want to specify hello, and now it says hello. I want to specify James, and now it says James. And so this is a quick way to customize any of these custom widgets from inside FlutterFlow. I basically inserted a new parameter and I specify that parameter whenever I am building the widget, but also from inside the app, okay? And so you can do this everywhere, right? You can go back to your custom widgets. Let's say you come in here and you have a lot of things happening, okay? So here we have the text that we're saying widget. Remember, initially it said click me, so it was very easy for me to go out and find the word click me and replace it with the actual variable, just like how I explained moments ago. And you can pretty much do that for all the colors. Here you have the color. You can change things around. You can just add a new parameter and you can say, well, I want a different color. You can come in here. We have a color parameter. You can do the same thing as I did for the string. And you can just specify, well, this is not going to be a fixed color, which in this case it's red, but it's going to be a color that I specify as a parameter whenever I'm building my FlutterFlow app. And so you can customize all of these custom widgets the same way that I customize this widget. And so you can go out to a place like Figma, find a component, a widget, an element, anything that kind of catches your attention, generate the code to it using a plugin called Figma to Code, which is a 100% free plugin that is used by almost 50,000 people. Come back into FlutterFlow, create a custom widget, and then customize it as you see fit. And also, if you are interested in viewing or cloning the specific app that you're looking right here on the screen, the app that I just built in order to show you some of the things that you can do with Figma and FlutterFlow, you'll be able to do just that on my Patreon page. On my Patreon page, you will find the source to all my FlutterFlow apps, as well as to some of the other apps that I build in different no-code builders. You'll be able to view and clone all of them. You'll have access to Q&As. You'll have access to live streams and a lot of different resources that is not going to be available publicly. And so if you're interested in taking your no-code knowledge up to the next level, my Patreon community is a great way to do so. And so that is all that I wanted to show you in today's video. I really hope you've gotten value. Let me know in the comments below what you think about this approach. Let me know if you have any questions or comments. And definitely check out my Patreon page if you want to get access to more content, support this channel, and support my work. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll talk to you in the next one.